I'm attempting a new challenge going from absolutely zero all the way up to being able to purchase the new expansion Midnight for gold only. To be able to purchase the expansion for gold, we need to buy 4 WoW tokens. Right now, a WoW token costs about 385k gold, so we are quite far away since we only made 98k gold so far. In this challenge, we have 3 very basic rules. We can only sell items that we have crafted ourselves. We cannot buy anything from the auction house, so we have to farm our materials ourselves, which make this quite hard. And the third rule is that we can use a maximum of 3 characters for this challenge, 2 crafters and 1 farmer. So far, we have only set up 1 crafter with engineering and alchemy and 1 farmer with mining and herbalism. Our alchemy and engineering is actually quite worked through, and we have some expansion that we have good skill in. We've been going quite ham on the Pandora expansion, Kata expansion and classic expansion so far. Outland doesn't seem to be the best. I don't think we're gonna investigate that too much more right now, and it is basically the same in engineering, but we are not max skill here because it hasn't really been required for the stuff that we have been crafting. But in this episode, other than the craft that we are already doing, we're gonna check out the new expansion, and I do think it's going to be BFA because Draenor seems to have very bad value of their urban ores, which probably means that the crafted items is horrific as well in terms of value. So we are going to jump immediately to BFA, I think, and then we can check out those expansion later when we have some more knowledge and if we feel like we want to try it and diversify. But so far it's looking quite bad with Warlords of Draenor and also Legion. I've heard that the professions there are quite annoying to level and stuff. I'm not 100% sure because I don't remember, but that we will do later if we feel like it. We're gonna hop to BFA now first. This character is only level 32 though, so I'm not really sure if I can get to BFA at level 32. I hope so, but I'm not 100% sure. So we're gonna see if we have to unlock it or not. And most likely we're gonna begin doing a farming session there. And most likely we're gonna begin by doing some herbalism and mining there so we can get some base mats so we can level up our professions. We also have Shadowlands later, which also is actually an expansion that we probably should check out. So we have still a lot of opportunities left, which I am very happy about. It is going to be a little bit easier when we have like everything sorted, so we just can focus on the good crafts over and over again and like make a very steady income. I do have some crafts that you will see later when we do the mailbox opening that have been really good so far. So I'm definitely gonna continue doing the crafts that has been performing well for me, and I do have one farm that has been really good so far that we will reveal later on in the series, I think, because I don't want to reveal it quite yet because it might be too bad for me and destroying a like steady gold farm that I have if too many people start doing it, which is quite sad. But I will eventually reveal it at least, and that is no secret gold farm, like it isn't something new. It's just so good right now. But let's get started by unlocking BFA because it looks like we can even if we are just level 32. Now with Chromie time, it doesn't seem to matter that much what level you are. So we're just gonna do this on this character, and then we're gonna go there on our gatherer as well and try to get some base mats, and we can see what we can start crafting. Okay, so I've been doing some gathering now in BFA, and I noticed that we actually need to like rank up our gather skills here for some reason. Like herbs, for example, have different ranks as you can see here, and the more rank you have, the more you get while you gather it. So I have been doing some questing and stuff now to get the ranks up, but of course I haven't gotten it on all of them yet, and I'm not really sure what herbs we're gonna require for leveling alchemy. But as you can see here, I have quite a lot of ore and I have quite a lot of herbs. So I'm gonna send that over to my monk right now, and we're gonna see if we can level alchemy a little bit. I have no idea if we're even gonna find something that is good to craft in this expansion. Like I cannot see anything right now that I know that we can actually craft that is a good craft from BFA. So we're gonna have to see how it goes. I have not the best feeling actually about BFA professions, but we'll see where it takes us for sure. Let's just do some crafting here so we can skill up the profession. I also noticed that there are no ports in engineering in BFA, and the port has been one of the best things for us to craft in engineering so far, or it definitely has been the best thing to craft. And then I wonder like what can we actually do with engineering in this expansion. I don't have high hopes for engineering, so we'll see where it takes us. But we also have the option later on to go into Shadowlands as well, which we actually might do in this episode as well, most likely, because we'll see what BFA can offer. I shouldn't be too negative already, but like I have a bad feeling about it, of course. So I totally forgot that we actually actually have ranks in crafting as well in BFA, which is kind of interesting. But seeing this now is like we need some renowns here for some crafts maybe, and that is not a positive sign for us, sadly. But we will see how it goes, because I of course have no like renowns. Okay, so we are definitely already lacking a lot of materials for leveling the profession. It seems to be taking a lot of them, as you can see here. So we will have to do a lot of gathering if we want to level this up to max, which I think we kind of have to do. We have the superior battle potions here that actually has a sell rate. However, the last rank here is probably also behind some rep, but I guess we could still craft it, but it's not going to be that good. And the flasks is also having some kind of sell rate, which is not too bad. But then again, we maybe have the same problem there as well. I should probably look that up before we start this, because we might have a problem there with the ranks. And if so, it's probably not going to be worth it to skill this up if everything is locked behind renown that we don't have, because we can't really get renowns in BFA. I think that would be so boring. It'd probably take forever to do like daily quests and stuff when we don't have any like rep buffs and everything. So I'll look into what we need for like the higher ranks here of the stuff. If we cannot get them without having renowns, I think we might skip this as well, which is quite rough because we can't skip too much. But the thing is, we can start looking into the details more and more when we have learned more professions and more expansions, because when we have a lot of stable crafts, then we can start spending more time into like this nitty picking, trying to find recipes and trying to like find the niche stuff that is good. But now in the beginning, I feel like we have to have a stable ground, finding the easier crafts, finding everything that we can craft for a good amount of gold. Then we can like spend more time trying to find more niche stuff that we can sell that isn't so like obvious, right? So looking here at the next ranks at the battle potions, we have revered as a requirement here as well. Honestly, I think we're going to take a break with this type of professions as well then, which is quite sad, but I think that's for the best, because we shouldn't be spending too much time here. As I just said, it's better if we move on, we try something else, and then we can always come back here later on when we feel like we have the time and we feel like we have a stable ground so we can check out more niche stuff. So I think next part is gonna be Shadowlands. I don't know if we're gonna need any renown there as well. I hope not, but I can't remember. It feels like ages ago since we did this content, and it probably was. And I was never in Alliance here in BFA either, so I don't really know what's going on here in the Borealis. But we're looking forward to what's coming, and we're gonna go and check out the Shadowlands professions. Okay, so I just made it to Shadowlands, and I am now in Bastion, where I'm actually started just right now to gather. And we're gonna see if this is more useful than before. I can't remember if there are like any way to get better in gathering in Shadowlands, or if it's just to gather and everybody gets the same or something. I have no idea. I can't remember. But we are gonna start out by just going this zone and gather. Then we're gonna hop into our other crafter and see if we can do something interesting with the stuff that we have gathered. Let's hope so, because I'm not checking before like what we can craft or anything. So we're gonna spend some time just gathering here and see if we can make something good later on, which I really hope we can, because we really need to find some more crafts now that is lucrative and profitable. But let's do some gathering here for a while and see how much materials we can end up with, and we will see how we can level up the crafting professions from there. Okay, so far I've gathered for 12 minutes and only made 830 gold according to Loot Appraiser, which is very bad. But I think it's time for us to send what we made over to our crafters, so we just can get some knowledge about what crafts and what materials we need to actually level the profession, since we have no idea now. I don't know if I even can do the rest here in Bastion, or if I have to go to other zones. Maybe I can get other ores and stuff. Like, I'm fresh into Shadowlands because I cannot remember anything from this expansion for some reason. I don't know, because I did actually play a bit in the beginning. I remember making a lot of gold, but still I cannot figure out, like, cannot remember if, for example, I will get more herbs and ores if I skill up my professions. I don't really know. Let's go ahead and mail everything over to our crafter, and we can see if we can get somewhere at least with the stuff that we already have. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just quickly want to say that I recently opened a Patreon. So if you want to support me on my journey to becoming a full-time creator and living my dream, please check it out in the pinned comment or description below. On the Patreon, I'm also posting written gold making guides. I have my TSM and PBS set up for flipping. I try to give as much as possible back to you guys for supporting me a little bit extra, but let's continue with the video. Okay, so we are here now in Oribos, and we learned alchemy, and now we are beginning to skill it. Of course, we don't have a lot of materials right now, so we won't be getting a lot of skill, but at least we are here and we are getting some skills. I have yet not checked through the recipes to see if there are anything that will be good for us to sell, but it's quite interesting at least that we have a new profession here, here, and that is always very, very hype. So let's see what we can go here. I don't really know what stuff can be selling here, but it looks like some stuff actually have some sell rate at least, which is quite interesting. Like the potion seems to have a sell rate, which is not too bad. Sadly, the gold per hour gathering was so bad, so we are probably getting very little mats for our time spent, but at least we have a lot of crafts here. As you can see, this one, for example, 737 regional average daily sold, which is really, really high. I don't know why this stuff is selling. Maybe it's like, I don't know who buys them to use them, but there must be people that buys them to use them. That is for sure. It will be also fun to see, because I cannot remember if like we can have stuff that affects our crafting. For example, if we can like get better at crafting stuff, or if everything is just set as it is. Because in classic and stuff, we can proc with Potion Master to get more potions. That is not affecting Shadowlands, so we're not gonna be able to get more potions here, but maybe there are some other ways. I cannot remember anything, which is quite sad. Okay, so this was nice. We have 29 available crafts here. For example, this one, it's selling 4,615 per day. That is a lot. So it has to be used for something. So it's gonna be really interesting to check at least. But we are going to need to gather a lot more. That is one thing that is for sure. So that is going to be high on the agenda now, but I'm not sure how much gold it will turns out to be in the nearest future. But hopefully if we set this up for the long term, we can make some great gold with this. So for this, we're gonna need a bunch more mats, but that is completely fine. That we already knew. Of course, we only gathered for like 10-15 minutes, which is barely nothing. Engineering, however, we haven't checked out yet. Here we actually have parts. I love parts because parts is 100% going to sell. I'm very, very happy to see that. So we're definitely gonna make parts, Lay Street ores. Like this is easy profit. As you can see, 1 Lay Street ore for 1 to 2 handful bolts. So that is good. So this is actually something that is consistent and that we're gonna actually be able to convert a Lay Street ore to consistently and sell for making gold. Here we have some other stuff that might be crafted later then. So this is looking decent with engineering as well, which makes me very, very happy. So definitely Shadowlands profession seems to be something that we are going to look into more, which makes me happy since we weren't lucky with Draenor at all. I am going to look into like everything else as well. That's not what I meant before. I'm going to check out Legion. I'm gonna probably even check out Draenor, even if it's that bad. Like we're gonna check out stuff, but we're not gonna focus too much right now on the things that feels bad, because we want to make some more gold now so we can actually get our gold amount up in this episode, because 98k, we gotta get to that first token soon. That is really, really important. So we better focus on the stuff that can actually make us a little bit of profit at least, and then we can focus on the worst stuff later when we at least feel like we have gotten quite a way, so we not feel like we are wasting a lot of time on useless stuff. Okay, so we made it to 30 skill, but we're not gonna make it much further right now. We need a large gathering session of like an hour or so we can proceed and get further. So that is gonna be next on the list. But this is actually looking quite hype. Like the parts here, I think we can make some good profits on them. Like the expected profits here using the min prices is looking really good, but also the prices of them is quite high at the moment, so they're probably like too high, but it looks good at least. So it's gonna be fun to try and see what sells. And it feels like the materials are quite easily obtainable as well. There we have some other stuff here that I saw earlier, like the wormholes. Those I usually sell on my flippers, and maybe the one can sell them. They sell really slow. Like as you can see, the sell rate is very low, but if we're lucky, maybe we can get some sales on this. However, it needs quite a lot of materials, but it's not really that much to make one of this, I think. So I think the profit on this can be really good if you can actually sell them, which I'm very happy about. So we're gonna check in on those stuff later as well. But now I see that they actually require reputation, so that might kill it. But we'll see. Maybe we can get some reputation and stuff. You never know what's gonna happen later on here. We have a lot of gold to be made, so we might work on the reputations as well eventually. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But let's go for a larger gathering session now so we can get that done and get our professions up a bit. Okay, so it definitely seems to be ramping up the more skill that we get. Now I am actually maxed in mining, and herbalism is 135. This gold per hour here is not accurate because I looted like a war glaive that was worth 12k here according to my min buyout, but 6.2k in 30 minutes now roughly, so it's looking way better. And as you can see, we're getting a bunch of materials, like 771 Lay Street ore, 481 silver ore. Like we are getting a lot of them. Now we also did Widow Bloom in this route, and that was 150, and Death Blossom 119. So I'm gonna send this over now from like a 30-minute gather session and see if we can skill up our profession a little bit more. But if not, I think we have to select another place, because now we have gotten some of the herbs that we have been farming on this route. So let's mail the stuff over. Okay, so we're now here on the engineering. We're gonna see how much skill we can get. We need the luminous flux, which is a material from the vendor. Sadly, they cost me 9 gold here because I'm not a goblin. If I were a goblin or had reputation, I would buy them for like 7 something, I think. They're actually cheaper on the auction house if we were allowed to use the auction house, but of course we are not. But we are going to buy a few here just to get it going and see what we can do to get skill up. But this is luckily getting invested into stuff that will sell as well, because this is parts they will eventually sell. I'm not too worried about that either. So we're gonna get the money back from these vendor items, which is good. Okay, so we reached 81 skill now actually by just pretty much crafting this wombed gear assembly. So we have 61 of them now, which is pretty nice. We have some other parts here as well. So let's just jump over now to alchemy, but we also have a lot of Laystrit ore left here, so we can definitely make the bolts, which we are going to do, of course, but that takes some time, so we're gonna wait with that a little bit. But looking at this, I think we can make some great gold with these parts actually, which makes me really, really happy. So that's a good start, but let's go over to alchemy and see if we can actually make something here right now. I'm not sure if we got the correct herbs when we were out gathering, because we only got a lot of the Death Blossom and Widow Bloom, so apparently here it's looking hard to level up. We would need Rising Glories, so that is maybe something that we will have to go gather, sadly, before we can start skilling up more here in alchemy. That's quite sad, but I do think that is something that we have to do then. Just had a little gathering session here to get the Rising Glory. Now we have 112 of them, so I hope that's going to be enough to send over to the monk so we can get some alchemy going. Okay, so we're back here on the monk, and we actually already sold the parts that we made yesterday when we were leveling engineering. So yeah, it is the next day when I'm doing this, because yesterday I was recording very late, but we already sold the parts that we crafted, so that is real good. Right now the amount of posted auctions and my value is very poor, but today I'm going to upgrade that by a lot. But we have also been selling stuff, so we shouldn't be too negative. But 20k on the auction house, that is too low for me. We gotta work it up. But now with the Rising Glory and everything, we're just gonna go ham in alchemy, see how high skill we can get with the current herbs and stuff that we have, and we're gonna see if we can find some profitable crafts later. So that is the current strat for now. I just hope that there are nice crafts in alchemy here that we can make, which I do really think that it is. Yeah, so apparently once again we do need the herbs that we haven't been getting in the zones that we have been in. So I guess we have to go to like Maldraxxus and Ardenweald maybe to get those herbs that we have not yet in our bag, because it seems like we require them kinda. So I guess we're gonna do another session of herbing, but we're gonna now do the ones that we haven't done yet. Okay, so we made it quite far now in alchemy, and we're just gonna get our last skill here, I hope. Crafting Shadowgast ingots, I was gonna say. Okay, so I had no idea that Shadowgast ingots was resetted daily. I'm pretty sure when I was playing Shadowlands that I could craft a bunch of the Shadowgast ingot, but now it is on a cooldown on a daily one. That's really weird, because it's even negative profit. Yeah, this I had no idea. So I probably overcrafted quite a lot of my herbs now into this then, so I could make the Shadowgast ingot. So that one we gotta forget immediately then. But we still have some flasks and some potions here that seems to be pretty good. The Flask of Stamina seems to be pretty good at the moment, at least. Then we have the Spectral Agility here, which seems to be okay. It's of course not a profit on craft, but that's at least something that we can craft and sell. We have all the potions here. I don't know, most of them are pretty bad. They're selling fast, but like the price of the herbs is so much more than the potions, except for like the agility one that seems to be, oh yeah, that one is also a heavy loss if the prices are at the region sale average. But still, we have some nice crafts here, and I do think we can make some gold by this. But it was quite a bummer that the Shadowgast ingot came daily cooldown. I'm like almost 100% sure it wasn't like that back in the day, but I'll have to do some research. I guess I might be wrong, you never know. But now I guess our next thing here, if we want to make gold here, is to actually go out and hunt ores and herbs, because we can still probably get some nice profits by doing it. But I really want to try to like do a full hour in Revendreth, probably with the Widow Bloom and the ores that we get there, so we can use that in engineering and also in alchemy to create those agility potions then. As you can see, I have a lot of Laystrat at the moment. We can make a lot of the bolts and post them as well and use them for crafts. So that is definitely something that we're gonna take into consideration, and that we definitely should do as well. So that we're probably gonna do right now. But we don't have too many like good crafts more in engineering other than the parts, which are the part that we're gonna focus on in engineering, of course, doing the parts. So that's gonna be our main focus in engineering. So I think like doing an hour in Revendreth trying to get the Widow Blooms and the ores and stuff to make the parts, I think that's gonna be a fine gold farm, and we kind of have to try it now, right? Since we have the professions up. I'm quite hyped about that, to see like how much we could actually make from 1 hour of gathering there and then turning it into other stuff as well. I guess I'll see you when I have done that, and we'll see what we can produce. Okay, so we have now done quite a lot of gathering in Shadowlands, and it has turned out to be okay-ish. So what I can tell you so far is that the crafts in Shadowlands seems to be kinda meh. Some of them is decent, some of them is actually adding value to our crafts, but some of them is just destroying our value. As you can see here, we are getting the Death Blossoms, and so far I haven't found a good craft with them. All crafts that I can do with them is basically halving the value of it. But I guess that's fine because we're still making some gold, but it's quite sad to gather and then craft it into something that is half the amount of value. But we have to take it since this is a challenge, and I'm having a blast still, guys. It has been so fun checking out Shadowlands, and I have come to a conclusion that I will tell you about really soon as well. But another thing that I can say about gathering here in Shadowlands is that every material route that I've been doing seems to have quite stable gold per hour and around the same gold per hour. So I've basically been in every zone so far gathering in Maldraxxus, Revendreth, Ardenweald, and Bastion, and all of them seems to have a gold per hour of around 12k, 12 to 13k when I have been gathering. So it's not the best, of course, but it is okay-ish. In terms of that, I'm really happy, and it feels pretty good that they seem to be quite stable around the same price of all of them. I do think that the one that is outperforming a little bit might be the route that I have in Revendreth, because this one seems to be yielding a little bit more gold per hour, I would say, but not too much. Like 1,000 more or something from the testing I have done so far. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, maybe I'm doing it right, I don't know, but that's at least how it is. So yeah, that's a good thing. Then, however, after we're done farming, we gotta craft it into the stuff, and as I said, sometimes that is not the best performing. But let's head to the crafter and see what we have done so far, and also we need to discuss a little bit about the future of the challenge, because I think we have to do a big thing for the next episode that I hope that you guys will like. So let's get back to the monk and see what he's doing. Okay, so we're on the monk now, and as you can see in the bag, guys, I do have a lot of materials, like a bunch of them. All ores I cannot use for anything that I have in the bag right now, basically, and all of the herbs that I have here as well, many of them I can't use for anything beneficial as well. I was thinking for the next episode that we're actually gonna set up the third character. You know, we talked about, and the rule says that we are allowed to make another crafter. I am thinking about making another crafting character that has the professions inscription and blacksmithing. I'm not sure if it's the best picks, but I do think that we can use our materials quite a lot in those two professions that we cannot use in the current professions to make any good gold. So I think that will be our choice. I'm not sure. If you have any thoughts about that, I might not yet have created the character when this episode is out. You can let me know in the description below. But I think that is going to be our plan, so we can use and utilize everything that we have, because we also have a lot of bars and stuff that we can't really use. An Elementium bar, for example, we cannot use that in our current profession to make anything. So I think going inscription and blacksmithing, maybe we can get use of stuff that we can actually sell on the auction house, which would add quite a lot to our gold. Because, for example, all the ores here now that I have from Shadowlands here, I cannot use them because I can't craft anything with them. But in blacksmithing, I know for a fact that I would be able to craft stuff with those that I could sell on the auction house for pretty good gold, I would assume, at least. So that's what I'm thinking, and I hope that that will be a good addition to the next episode, because we need to make some more gold. But looking at our auction house right now, we're looking at 40,000 in value, not too much, but we have 1,500 Leystrite bolts. They are very easy to get. You get 1 to 2 of them per Leystrite ore that you gather, so that is just very, very easy. Obsidian bolts, this item, guys, I know that we have been talking a little bit about it earlier, that it was selling slow, but I think that was because the price was very high. Now the price is much lower, and they are selling very, very good. I don't really know if they are still profitable, though. That we kind of have to check right here. So looking at them right now, the current prices, it seems like they are like basically break even, I would say. And that is pretty good for us, because if you know the Avashi route that I have been doing, some of you guys have seen it, it is doing pretty good gold per hour. We have been getting upwards of like 20-25k an hour even sometimes doing that farm. So that has been really, really good for us. And if we can convert them 1-to-1, then it's pretty good still, so we can sell them for that gold. But the crafts in Shadowlands that has been doing good for us so far has been the Leystrite bolts. They are selling very fast, by the way, and they are profitable able to make as well, which is great. We are doing embalmer's oil. This is what I'm making with the flour I just talked about. This is basically halving our profit. So we're losing gold on this craft, but that's the only thing I know as of now that I can convert it into. And we need to sell items, right? So I'm doing everything to just sell them so we can get some gold to our mailbox. Other than that, I don't really know what has been doing good yet. Potion of spectral agility. I am selling this as well, but it is actually doing very, very negative, as you can see in terms of profit here as well. We're losing 12 gold per craft, but I'm still doing them because they seem to be selling pretty good. So losing gold, but still getting gold, I would say. Yeah, so that is how it's looking right now in Shadowlands. And I know that there are more crafts that I'm gonna try out that we haven't had the option yet to try out. But I have been farming a total of like, I don't know how many hours I've been doing now in Shadowlands, but maybe like 4 hours in total or something. I'm doing quite a lot, or 3 hours at least, of farming here in Shadowlands with roughly 12k per hour. That is doing quite good, but not everything has sold, of course. I crafted some flasks, haven't sold yet. Some other potions just from leveling the profession. I'm just posting them because why not? It's fun if we can get some random sales in there as well. I see now and remember now that we gotta go back to Classic, because in Classic we have the Ghost Die. They have sold out, and I think this can be quite decent for us. So I might place my gatherer there for some AFK gathering of the ghost mushrooms in the cave in Ungur Crater to get this one, because this one is selling for quite good and making really good profit as well. So this is one that we really have to utilize. Let's go to Cataclysm, because here we have some other crafts that has been decent. We sold those. Like, this is not profitable, I would say. Maybe with our current proc chance it might be, but I still think we lose gold crafting this. Potion of Deep Home for us has been okay-ish. We need to gather this, but it's hella hard to sell. I've been struggling a lot to get them sold, selling slow. Even though the sale average seems to be decent here, it's hella hard to sell them, and they have been lower in price and more expensive as well. Now they seem to be at 89 gold, which is fine. Another craft here has been Potion of Illusion. Now it's down to the bottom here, which is sad, so it's not good anymore to make. But we will see in the mailbox opening as well. I'm yapping a lot now here about what's good. Maybe we will see everything in the mailbox opening, but still, I have been crafting very much of different stuff now, and we start to see some good things coming in. Sadly, the BFA, everything in BFA, I just skipped. Like, I gave up on it. We will investigate it in the future if we feel like we have to, if we need to diversify, if we feel like we need to check out the old professions. But right now, it's doing too bad for us. Maybe it's better if we get blacksmithing and inscription to like get stuff from there, but right now we have no options really. So that is like how we are doing right now. And our plan going forward is to, of course, then keep on going ham here in Shadowlands, even if it's not better gold per hour in some cases than, for example, the Cataclysm stuff that I've been doing. I'm still enjoying this a lot, and it seems that there are a lot of opportunities here as well with different amount of craft and stuff. So I think if we can get another craft trap, it would be amazing. And if I go with another crafter, I think I'm gonna go to Shadowlands immediately with it and set that up first this time, because then we can utilize everything that I've been gathering here, and maybe we can make some easy gold then based on like all the materials I've already farmed, so they are not going to waste all the time. I was also actually considering going UL crafting on the new tune instead of blacksmithing, but I think blacksmithing is gonna be better, but I'm not sure. So we will have to try, and in the worst case, we will have to change profession, even though that's probably not the most optimal. But I do think, guys, that it is time for us to open our juicy mailbox, the long-awaited mailbox. I don't remember if I promised you to make a WoW token. I don't remember if I told you I will make a WoW token in this episode as well. I hope I didn't, but maybe we did. I am unsure, and we will see now how this has been going. Let's hope for the best. Also, by the way, I'm gonna show you my slash played after we open the mailbox. Okay, guys, this is absolutely better than the last week. As you can see, we are already looking at 149,000 gold in the mailbox, which is absolutely mental. However, it is not enough for a WoW token, which is sad. But I need to say this real quick. When I went into this challenge, I thought for some reason that it was gonna be easier and go faster than it is actually going. It is going way slower than I thought, and I probably didn't realize that gathering all my materials myself is taking a lot of time. I need to just change mindset in terms of how long time this challenge will actually take me. Since I don't have the opportunity to play this like 8 hours a day, I can't can't really finish it too fast either. But so far, I think this progress is really good in this episode at least. Maybe the previous ones has been a little bit too poor, but it has been a lot of setup as well. So now I think we are ready to just go absolutely ham and make so much gold. So let's go through the actual auctions here real quick and see what we have been selling. Embalmer's oil, I told you about that. Spectral agility as well. The obsidian bolts is a winner for me so far. It's making really good gold, and I'm having a good time actually like soothing around in that water zone in travel form, actually gathering the obsidian and all the herbs from there. As you can see, more obsidian right here. We actually sold the Elementium toolbox, which is an engineering bag, which was really random. We sold that earlier today. Happy with that, of course. Then we're looking at some spectral agility. This is basically just what I convert my widow bloom into right now, which is a loss, which is sad. But here is some parts from Shadowlands, which is good. Those are actually profitable to make after gathering and everything, so that is good. Really happy about that. Some potion of deep home selling, happy about that as well. Potion of illusion, this is what I'm saying. This has been really good for me, but right now it's bad because the prices is like halved on them from when I've sold them at peak. So that is sad, but at least I could use the materials and get some sales there. Handful of lace strike bolts, it's from right now. Shadowlands doing really good. Flask of the winds, really happy about that. Managed to sell 8 of them for 4.5k gold, which is really good. And that's actually today as well, I think. Really happy about that. Some more parts from Shadowlands, really good. And more obsidian bolts, but here we go, guys. Here is the real deal. The flask of the winds selling again. 30 of them for 11,000 gold almost. Really good sale. I think this was profitable while crafting this. I'm not really sure, but I do think the mats were worth less than actually crafting these flasks. But they are selling very slow, I can tell you that as well. But at least it's a good sale, so I'm very happy about that. Then we come into obsidian bolts and more lace strike bolts, even more potion of illusions. So you can see like a pattern here of what I've been selling, even more potion of illusions. There we go, electrified ether. I did some farm in Uldum there, farming the volatile air. Sold them pretty easy then. 300 of them for 3.7k, and not the best gold per hour I can say, but it was something we did when we were doing something else on the side as well. More potion of illusion, really good. But bad prices, I would say. Bad prices. More obsidian bolts, more potion of illusions, as you can see, all over the place. But they are like, oh, sadly that they are destroyed now, but still we made some good gold on them. Because you can see here, oh no, this is the potion of deep home. This is good. We sold 40 of them for 100 gold each. That was pretty good, I would say. So happy about that, really good. And then obsidian bolts, once again, that is probably going to be something that is coming back all the time. Because as long as that farm is like decent, I will keep doing that because it's so easy to do it as well. Ghost die 3.3k. This is what I said about them. I need to go farm them again because they are like easy selling, and I can do that while I'm fully AFK almost. Potion of illusion, bolts, treasure finding here, and here we have 100 potion of illusion selling for 7.5k. Just crazy how many of them we sold. Even more here. Potion of treasure finding. Okay, so it is this mailbox opening still. Yeah, we sold off the last potion of treasure finding, 33 of them here. More obsidian bolts, potion of deep hole, flask of the winds again. This is 5 days ago or something, of course, but still. Mighty speed, elixir, ghost die, deep stone oil, potion of treasure finding. Okay, so this was in this mailbox. Okay, I see. Ghost die and flask of the winds and treasure finding. Okay, so we're looking at 148k, guys. That is absolutely crazy, and I'm really happy about that. So let's open the 100 mails here and we'll see what is in the last 7. I don't think it's anything particular, but let's open this and see how much gold we totally end up with. Okay, so it was actually 12k here in the last 7 mails, which is really good, adding up even more. So again, handful of obsidian bolt, ghost die, some gunpowder as well, potion of illusion, treasure finding, deep stone all. Okay, looking nice. Let's open that as well to 12k, and we end up with 255,754 gold. In my opinion, that is really good. And after like having the realization that I cannot farm that much to make like a token every episode, probably. I'm not saying that I won't for the next one, because it all depends on how much time I have to go ham. And in the later part of this week, I actually prioritize this higher to work more on this challenge. So if I keep doing that, I think we can see some higher numbers. But 255k now, I'm actually really happy about, and I shouldn't be complaining. It was 160k this week. It's way better than before. So if we just keep earning more and more, we're gonna be totally fine. Looking at the slash played now, guys, it will probably shock you a bit, and probably me as well. I did forget this in the previous episodes, but this character now has a total played of 20 hours and 54 minutes. But this is only this character. So if we had 20 hours and 54 minutes on the gold amount that we have now, we would roughly make 12,000 gold per hour, which is not bad. But this is of course not the reality. Let's check out the druid real quick and see what our actual gold per hour is, and I think we're all gonna be shocked. It hasn't been the best. Okay, so on the druid, the slash played is 2 days and 3 hours. Holy moly, I don't know how much time is AFK of this, but I can say not more than 3 hours is probably like AFK. But I'm doing everything on stream most of the times as well, so of course it's not as efficient as you guys could do it. And what I just quickly will say here is, if you guys do this and you want to optimally get the expansion, I would recommend you to always farm the stuff that gives you most gold per hour and not dabble with crafting and like craft stuff that is worth less than the materials. Makes no sense, right? If you really want to make gold. I'm doing this as a challenge to have a lot of fun, challenge myself and explore the game even more, right? And having a lot of fun along the way. But I wouldn't recommend you guys to do exactly the same, of course, because crafting for a loss is never something that you should do. Okay, so let's take 255,754 gold divided by 71 hours then. That would be roughly what we have done so far. We would have a gold per hour of 3,600, which is not good. I don't know really how it can be this bad. I didn't think so. I don't know if I have been AFK a lot or something, but I can't recall being AFK a lot. So maybe stuff has just taken a lot of time and I have been spending it not the most efficient. But that is not the plan either, to spend all my time most efficiently, right? So that is of course not the plan of the challenge. I'm doing this to have fun, but I'm just saying, if you guys want to like relate, if you were doing this optimally with the same farms that I've been doing, I think you would end up with around 10-12k per hour or something like that if I were just doing the farms that I've been doing. But then I have been crafting and doing other stuff as well, of course. But now we know the slash played and a little bit more of a detailed version of it, of course. But with that said, guys, I really appreciate everyone watching. Once again, check out the Patreon in the pinned comment and please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.